Oh, Canalave City, how I've missed your joyous nighttime music. Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Raved, and welcome back to another bonus episode of Let's Play Pokemon Platinum. So, in the last episode, we caught Rotom, the not-so-legendary Pokemon, because back then I assumed it was, and I've been lied to all this time. Thank you to the person, Alex White, I believe, who actually mentioned that, because I never knew about it. But I also wanted to show him off because the multiple forms that he has, once you do get the secret key, which is another event item, can be used to get a bunch of forms, and I really like that aspect of that Pokemon, so it was nice to show it off. But in this episode, you may be wondering why we're here in Canalave City, first of all. Well, there's a couple things I like to do here. First one being that I went ahead into PC, and I swapped out everybody for the old original DK crew, or the original 6 members of our party since we last went into the Pokemon League with them, and I would like to call these the original. So with Murphy and Manny back, we're ready to get started with real business. Now the first thing I like to do is I want to go to a Pokemon Mart right now because there is actually something new for us, because we are going to be tackling another event item, but what's unknown is something which is going to be a mystery for now. So now we're just going to enter the Pokemon Mart, and inside is yet another guy with a green hat. Good evening, you must be Sebastian. I've received a gift for you. Here you go. And with that, we got a member's card. Sounds very exclusive. We look forward to your next visit, which won't be very soon. Now, you may be thinking exactly why we have a member's card. Well, that'll become relevant in a bit, but for now, we are going to ignore the fact that we caught that and pretend it never happened. So what we want to do is we want to go down here with all of this great Canalave City music and frame rate. And you want to go in here, and if we go inside, there's a boy who's apparently sleeping, and his mom is next to him. And we, as people who don't care about the law, will just barge in and see what's going on. The little boy is thrashing about in his sleep. He appears to be in torment. He is muttering something. Dark watching me. I never thought our boy would fall into this endless nightmare. It's all happened in the past in Canalave. There were people who never woke up from their nightmares. That is, until they were awoken using something called the Lunar Wing. My husband went to find a Lunar Wing on Full Moon Island, but he failed. Does it take a trainer to do that? We feel so frustrated by this. Well, we've saved the world countless times, from both the world and just one person. So let's see what we can do about it. So let's talk to the sailor guy. You're going to Full Moon Island for us? We're both counting on ye. Only you can awaken my son from this awful nightmare. Please, I need the Lunar Wing from Full Moon Island to awaken him. I went, but I failed to find it. Anger's away! Or Anger's away we. Okay, self-referential stuff is not good. And oh boy, when was the last time I said that? Actually, never. But something that I haven't said in a long time. Them 3D DS graphics. You never get tired of them, and it's the little things that matter the most. But welcome to Full Moon Island, with, ironically, the same music as Eterna Forest, which you were in briefly last episode. And the reason I call this place Full Moon Island is kind of funny because it is actually shaped like a crescent. And I'll have something on screen right now that shows you exactly why. It looks sort of like a crescent, but on the map, you can see that we're all the way on the top left. So we are pretty far away. We are at a pretty far distance from Canalave. As you can see, we've gone a long way north. So I hope this is worth the adventure. But inside of here, at a first glance, it may appear that there's nothing but shadow. But further investigation reveals a crescent-shaped puddle and a mysterious Pokemon. Pokemon flew off somewhere. There's something sparkling where the Pokemon once was. And here we get the Lunar Wing, which is the item that we've been looking for the past maybe 10 minutes, or 10 seconds. I cannot even comprehend time. But now that we have the Lunar Wing, because we're just awesome, and this guy is not, apparently, let's give it to him. That Pokemon you met was the Lunar Pokemon. I've heard tales of it flying from place to place throughout Sinnoh. Oh, that sparkle! So, that's the Lunar Wing. Thank you. They'll wake my son from the nightmare. So, after saving the day once again, in under maybe 25 seconds, let's just go back to Canalave and let's see how the boy's doing. Alright, so now let's go ahead and just talk to him and see what he has to say. The little boy is thrashing about in his sleep. Seabass's lunar wing began to glow, and already right there, that is an improper use of punctuation. Just add the apostrophe. There's no apostrophe S, but of course, I'm pretty sure Nintendo can't even handle putting simple apostrophe in proper grammar. The boy's sleeping face became untroubled and serene. The little boy woke up. Oh my gosh! You're awake! Oh, my son. I don't know what to say. Thank you. We will never forget ye. Seeing you back to normal makes me feel great. I've regained my spirit as a sailor. Come sail with me later. Let's talk to the boy. I couldn't wake up. I saw it. It was a scary dream. It was a dark place. And there was a dark Pokemon. But Daddy, Mommy, I could always hear your voices. And what does the mom have to say about all this? Thank you! We can't thank you enough, but thank you! So after saving the world like that, or saving the day, I keep saying saving the world in under maybe 6 minutes. Well, you may be thinking that's the end of the episode, but you're wrong. There's one thing which I like to do, and now that secret members card becomes relevant now. So, remember the boy saying something about Dark is watching him? Well, back here, we appear to have a house and a boat. This place is the Harbor Inn, a roost for restless sailors. Enjoy sweet dreams in our sumptuous beds. Before, we could not actually read this for some reason, and now we can actually read it. So, let's go in the house, because now we can. Welcome. We've had a reservation for you. We've held it a long time. Seabass lay down on the bed as if bidden there. And moments later, we have awoken in what appears to be a complete mirror image of Full Moon Island. But exactly where are we, and why are we here? Something very ominous is happening. From a rocky shore with a bunch of sand, we have now entered another forest. What could lie in here? Let's find out now. And in here, welcome to New Moon Island. And there's a shadowy figure in a puddle. Let's get ready and see what lies for us there. Alright. Say hello to Darkrai, a legendary Dark-type Pokemon. This is actually part of the Lunar duo with Cresselia, which is the Pokemon that we saw earlier back in Full Moon Island. This is a direct mirror image of Full Moon Island and Cresselia, because Cresselia and Darkrai have an interesting story behind them. But Darkrai is level 50, and I'm actually a little bit worried here because I'm afraid I may have to redo all of this. Why do I record this time? Anyways, so yes, Cresselia is actually a caregiver in all of this, because Darkrai is originally the Pokemon that would go to Canalave City, or anywhere for that matter, and try and succumb other people into a deep dark sleep with eternal nightmares and eternal dreams. And it can only be awoken with the help of Cresselia's lunar wing. And Cresselia is mainly there to provide some sort of comfort for people who have fallen under Darkrai's spell. So here using Flamethrower was actually a pretty good idea. We managed to get Darkrai down to a good decent amount of HP, but I think we could have done better. but Hypnosis. This is something you might want to watch out for. Actually, you really should watch out for it. Because you do not want bad dreams. Right there. That's one of the many things. If Darkrai manages to land Hypnosis on you, not only will that effect of his, or his ability, which is bad dreams, which will cut your HP if you are asleep, but he also has a move called Dream Eater that will severely damage you unless you heal your Pokemon. So let's go ahead and use a full heal on let's use a full heal on Darkrai, because we want to heal our enemy. I mean, come on, we're pacifists, right? No? Oh. Well, as you can see, it did not use it for some reason. I'm actually surprised it didn't, because I'm almost positive it actually knows the move. Then again, it probably could have been dumb AI, or it could have been really smart AI, because it knew I was going to heal. But let's just keep throwing the Pokeballs and seeing what we can get, because trust me, this is actually a pretty difficult Pokemon to catch, and I highly doubt I would get it anytime soon. But I don't really feel like doing any sort of speeding up to actually get it and all, so we're just going to keep going on with it and seeing what we can do with this Darkrai, because honestly, I just really would like to catch this Pokemon, because it's actually one of my more favorite Pokemon in the games, actually. Because, I don't know, Darkrai is just really... Nightmare. Okay, that's the move I was thinking of. Nightmare. If it hits you when you actually have a status condition like Sleep, it will slowly deal a bunch of damage to your Pokemon. It either does that or a lot of damage at once. Either way, it will do damage. Hypnosis, once again, that's not a good thing, so we have to use another full heal or anything else. Actually, this would be a good time to go ahead and show off the old Gateau we got last episode. So let's go to our status healers and go down, and with the old Gateau, we can instantly use it on Murphy, and we can get him awake and ready to go to capture this Pokemon. But you're just gonna use Hypnosis again because you're smart in a way. You know what, Murphy, it's alright. You've done your part. You know, I'm just gonna see exactly how long we can manage to tank this, because I just really want to try to capture. You know, Great Ball, go. I mean, we're already failing with Ultra Balls, like, why not? Let's use a Great Ball. I mean, there's no way it could actually work, right? Yeah. But still, this Pokemon is very difficult to catch, so if you're trying to capture this Pokemon, you better come prepared with a lot of good items to use, because clearly I'm not doing such a good job here, and I'm not doing so hot. But Bad Dreams is something which we should look out for, and it's something we should not really have an effect much longer. But Darkrai can really be a good strategic Pokemon, and I would really like to show it off sometime in the near future. But right now, we're not really seeing any fun with this. But Nightmare, I guess I could show it off. As you can see right there, Murphy began having a Nightmare, and every turn, it'll slowly and slowly be locked in its Nightmare. It'll deal a bunch of HP, and Darkrai's Bad Dreams will only make it worse, causing the Pokemon to eventually faint. This is a pretty scary Pokemon when it comes down to it. But something that cannot really harm us would have to be Egoraptor. Because Egoraptor is a normal type. In a way, it could protect, but then again, we're not so sure about that. So what we could do is we could just keep throwing Pokeballs like crazy. So, let's see how many Pokeballs it takes. Just a regular Pokeball? Of course we'll get it, right? Oh wait, not even a shake. Well, one shake, okay, whatever. You proved me wrong, Darkrai, but looks like, of course, you will not let me go farther than one. I'm actually surprised I managed to work for one in a Pokeball. One. Ugh. 1, 2, 3. Oh, so close! Oh my god, that was so close. I was literally on the edge of my seat, hoping that Darkrai would actually let me catch it in a Pokeball. My god, that would have been incredible. And of course, Darkrai. You know what, Darkrai? I think you're giving me a nightmare. You know what my nightmare is? Having to sit on my couch for hours on end trying to capture you with 87 Pokeballs, 13 Great Balls, and 35 Ultra Balls. Master Ball will be saved, but for something a little bit later. 1. Bye, Egoraptor. You were kind of useful. I mean, you kind of got him to go for tree shakes. I do not know any sort of lisps. But you got him to 3 shakes, so I guess I have to give you some credit for that. And Manny, you don't really know that many moves that won't completely destroy Darkrai. Why do not have a Pokemon with Status Afflictments? You know, that'd be really good to have. A Pokemon that could have, like, Stun Spore or something like that. because then we could actually have a better chance of capturing this. But of course, we have to just deal with it and just completely go along as we have been doing for such a long time. You know, I guess something I should mention here is in the anime, there was actually a movie on this game, or not on this game, but on this Pokemon. It revolved around it. It was something involving Darkrai, and what it was is that movie actually showed Darkrai not only having a voice, which is extremely cool. I mean, just if you look at Darkrai, you can already tell it's a badass Pokemon, but it also had legs. No joke, it legitimately had legs. And it was really, really cool to see. And when I first saw it, I actually was kind of freaked out by it because it was like the origins of, I can't believe I'm saying this in this video, Slender Man in a way. But, God, Slender Man. I just ran on for how annoying it is to literally go to the YouTube channel, look for any gaming videos, and just find Slender Man with face cam. Because, you know, face cam is so great. Oh, that was a really bad subject to go on in a video where I'm just talking about nonsense right now, because all it is me pressing A numerous times just to capture Darkrai in a Pokeball nonetheless. And if it could only go past like 2-3 shakes, if I could actually get that nice little click there eventually, then I'd be pretty satisfied. 1. You know what, Darkrai, you're like great and all, so I'm gonna put you in a Great Ball. You don't like it? Oh, okay. You know, it just matched your eyes and all, so I was just trying to be nice, but if you don't want me to be nice, well then I'll just capture you in a boring old Pokeball, and, you know, we can just live on there. How many did I start out with? I started like 90 or 90 something Pokeballs here, and I'm already down to this number. Jeez. I've been also recording for like 20 minutes, and we started battling this Pokemon at like 10, so it's only been 9 minutes, but still. I mean, we started catching it 8 minutes in the battle. Or, not even, like a minute in the battle, so... jeez, it's gonna take a long time. I highly doubt I'll catch it anytime soon. So, I guess while we're doing this, I could give some trivia about this Pokemon. I mean, I guess I could try and give trivia about some Pokemon. I mean, if there's other Pokemon that you'd like to see before that had trivia, you could look it up on your own, but I kind of want to just talk about trivia here since we really don't have much going on. It's literally me just pressing A and watching Darkrai completely demolish my Pokemon with hypnosises and bad dreams and stuff like that, so I guess I could just read you some things. So, apparently, Darkrai is actually the only legendary Dark-type Pokemon in the entire series, excluding one Pokemon which has a little bit of an exception. It's not originally a Dark-type Pokemon, and for all of you who know what I'm getting at, yes, that will be a thing eventually. 1, 2... You literally got my eyes open, hoping that I wouldn't have to continue on the trivia, because it isn't really... Actually, no, it's really that interesting. But most of it is just involving, like, IVs and effort values, and I never really got those, because, to be honest, I never really cared about effort values. I mean, yeah, they're helpful, but I never really wanted to play Pokemon competitively. I just wanted to do it for fun. And I really do suck at Pokemon, but it's still a fun game to play, and I don't care what, it's just really nice to play. So, there's actually something kind of cool. Darkrai and Weavile are the fastest Dark-type Pokemon, having a base speed of 125. I'm still not reading this off of any kind of iPad. But that's kind of cool how just a regular Pokemon could actually match up with the speed of a legendary Pokemon, even though most legendary Pokemon nowadays are completely bulky and not really that fast. But Darkrai and Cresselia and some others, like Azel, Vuxie, Mesprit, do actually have a rather decent speed. And something else I could probably tell you is that Darkrai, along with Tyranitar and Hydreigon, has the highest base stat total of all Dark-type Pokemon, which is cool, I guess. It's not really something very interesting to go on about, but hey. I mean, I'm trying to do my best, so... Other than that, it doesn't really look like there's much here. But, something else I could probably mention right here is actually Darkrai is kind of an allusion to, or a reference, for all of you who do not know that fancy word, to, you know, the Boogeyman. Because originally, all of you, I'm pretty sure all of you have heard about the Boogeyman, and when you were little kids, your parents would tell you that if you do not stay in your bed, the Boogeyman will come and get you, and it will be bad days for you. No! Come on, Darkrai. I was talking about the boogeyman, for Christ's sake. Why? And 69 Pokemon. I swear to God. Let's just see this right here. It's not gonna be any shakes, but you know. 1. Yeah, okay, 1, whatever. 69th Pokeball, you know, maybe I was hoping you could catch it, but this is just gonna be a very long video, and it will go on forever, and ever, and ever. But yes, Darkrai is based off the boogeyman, and it does have the concept of nightmares clearly, because Cresselia was the one, which I've mentioned before, that would heal, and Darkrai is the one that would wound. So, I really did like that concept of it, and really there's a lot more to Pokemon than a lot of people might think. And when you delve into Pokemon and develop theories and develop facts, and even when you just hear from developers themselves saying, oh, by the way, Darkrai was based off the Boogeyman, and stuff like that. And also, Darkrai could be, you know, based on the concept of the Greek god Morpheus, which is basically responsible for shaping dreams, because Darkrai does shape dreams in his own image to make them painful and not nice to have. But other than that, there's not much else I can say about Darkrai. I already mentioned that it could talk in the anime, which was really, really freaky. Because, I mean, come on, what Pokemon can talk besides Meowth? But Meowth doesn't even count. Because, to be honest, I mean, just Meowth is Meowth. Every time you see a Meowth, you always expect it to talk. It's just something that's been implemented into our minds ever since we first saw that episode of Pokemon where we got introduced to Team Rocket. We're only down to 2 final Pokemon left. This is not going so good. I mean, I have plenty of revives. Like, how many do I have? I have a total of 3. That could survive us for a little bit. But I guess I'm just gonna probably cut to when I actually manage to find something reasonable to talk about. So, until then, I'll see you in just a second. Damn it. Okay, well, actually, there's one more thing I could talk about, and that is actually the fact that Darkrai actually, despite it looking like a ghost-type Pokemon and stuff, and it could actually pass through walls, it is actually not a ghost-type for some reason. And finally! God, that was a really, really, shit. I feel proud and ashamed. Oh, God. I'm gonna love hearing that back in recording. Well, we caught Darkrai. That's all that matters now. Let's just put him in the PC, because that's where you freaking belong. But, after like 20-something minutes, a voice called out from somewhere.
Darkrai, your power is strong. Though you don't will it, you make people and Pokemon around you see terrible nightmares. That is why you came here. New Moon Island, there is no one but you here. There is none that can be drawn into your nightmare. If anyone were to fall into a nightmare, the Full Moon Island is close by.
And we have awakened from our sleep, so I guess it'd be called Sebastian's Awakening instead of Link's Awakening. Okay, that's a really dumb, stupid reference. But with that, as you can see, we actually managed to unlock Full and New Moon Island, which are both located next to each other.
You've been asleep for a long, long time. What happened to you? And what were you doing here? No one's lived here for 50 years. And also, why am I stalking you like this? Because all of a sudden I care for you because you've healed my son up.
But with that, guys, I think we're going to end it off here because I honestly cannot take much more of this. But you guys seem to love it, and I like doing this as well because it's fun. Anyways, next time on Let's Play Pokemon Platinum, we're going to go ahead and encounter even more legendaries. And this time it's going to be a Pokemon that's going to be a little bit more difficult to get. And in doing so, I'm also going to be training up my Pokemon up to level 70 to 85. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time!